Hello, welcome to Mina's Bookshelf. I'm doing a live today to review the Find Your Magic Tarot, a US game systems very recent publication written by Giulia Manzi and illustrated by Sara Rocklig, two Italian creators. Waiting for a few more minutes just to see if anybody is going to join this live, although I'm really doubtful because you will hardly stumble upon my lives. Um, So, how is everybody doing? Beautiful fall day for a change. Love this season. This is my favorite season of the year. It could be 10 months of autumn for me, and I would be happy. Okay. So, thank you so much, US Games, for sending me a review copy of this new witchy deck, perfect for the Samhain season. I do have a few witchy themed decks, and I do love them. I feel like they can have a vast readership and audience. Um, Probably most of the users of these decks will probably be belonging to a younger age group. But as a person that has been on this earth for more than half a century now, I can tell you that anybody can appreciate this kind of vibe, energy, and artwork. Okay, so this is a deck that retails for $29.95. It was um, just published by US Games. Thank you so much for this copy. It's one of those decks that are housed in these beautiful rigid two-part hard box with an additional tuck box inside, and the deck would be actually in this box. Now, I'm not sure if you can see me um, in landscape or portrait. So if somebody's watching, please let me know. I am so out of touch with technology lives. So let's see. Riley, thank you so much for joining the lives. And then there's also a little king, G2G. Hello to you as well. Thank you so much for joining this live. Please let me know if you can actually see me well. I don't know if my internet connection is that good. I hope that the quality of this video and audio is good. Please give me a thumb up if the quality of the video and the audio is good on your hand. Thank you so much, Riley. Okay, so this is the back of the box. I'm trying to put this video out there before the natural light goes away. So I'm going to be as quick as I can without, forgetting the important points of this review. If you go in my shorts, you will see a very quick flip through of the deck. So magic is everywhere and shows up anywhere you find a tiny stroke of good luck and an inexplicable miracle like a flower blooming out of season. This modern diverse deck was created to help you recognize the magic all around you and within you. It invites you to explore hidden synchronicities and mystical manifestations that occur in your daily life. Tap into the potential of your inner world and rediscover your own sense of wonder as you interpret the raw wisdom shared by vagabonds and kings, witches, and wayfarers. Includes 78 cards and 128-page full-color illustrated guidebook. It's a preview of 3 of the cards. These boxes are very sturdy. I really like this drawer system. Love the colors also that have been chosen. This is a nice yellow, although the camera doesn't really pick up on the yellow. It shows it more as a pink. Okay, so a little bit of artwork on the sides. Okay, so this is the box, and this would be the additional tuck box that houses the deck. I normally take my deck out and I put these boxes away because the deck is pretty chunky and it's quite difficult to put the deck back in here. We also have a nice guidebook. Let's focus. Oops. Okay, it's not focusing. Okay. So let's take a look at the guidebook, table of contents, a deck to rediscover magic, beautiful illustration. You can tell that the illustrator of this deck, her name is Sarah Rocklick, is a children's books illustrator, among the other things. She loves animation, she loves comics, I guess, because the artwork really gives me that kind of vibe. Beautiful. So a deck to rediscover the magic. So the two words that stuck with me, that really gives me a sense of what this deck is all about, is modern and diverse. So the beautiful people appearing in this deck might as well not wear any pointy hat. That's something that you could do without, and you will still get beautiful snapshots of everyday life. And some of the images, I have to say, are pretty powerful, especially when it comes to strong emotions and challenging cards, like the Ten of Swords or the Death card or the Tower card. No, actually, not the Tower card in this deck, but other cards that emotionally um, sometimes hard um, when it comes to conveying a meaning. And it the artwork is done really well, because in the facial expression of the characters appearing in these cards really convey feelings of solitude, feelings of loneliness and isolation. And I think that for this reason, not only because of the artwork, this for this reason, this deck would be a great deck for readings for a younger audience, because young people, in an unprecedented way, today more than anywhere else in time, are going through very difficult situations, and it's really hard for them. So you will see in this deck how these situations, difficult everyday life, modern life situations are portrayed. From the introduction, magic is within you. I would like to read a couple of paragraphs that really stayed with me even after closing the guidebook. With the advent of scientific thinking, the aura of mystery that lingered around magic disappeared. Science, mathematical concreteness, the extreme nationality of an industrial and technological society dampened the spark of wonder that pushed people towards the unknown. And yet, magic is still there, hidden in myths, traditions, and in everyday occurrences. So, where can magic be found? When can you discover the sense of wonder that blends awe with the terrifying feeling of being so tiny compared to the universe? How can you reconcile technological extremism with the ancient spirituality? We have tried to answer these questions in Find Your Magic Tarot. The figures are represented carrying out everyday activities, study, work, holidays, meetings. So it will be very easy for anybody to relate with the images, the artwork of this deck. They love, hate, and live experiences just like everyone else. But they are one step ahead when dealing with the life and searching for themselves, because magic helps them. If the major arcana is aimed at reinvention and finding the right path in a world that is at times too big and hostile, the suggestion in the minor arcana have more to do with the everyday matters relating to feelings, difficulty, or personal triumph. So the situations of everyday life presented in these cards interweave with the arcane references of traditional tarot representations. The magician, the mystical researcher, is here portrayed as a student busily searching for knowledge. The Wheel of Fortune manifests as a means of transport. Justice pays tribute to a revolution for inclusivity. Each card uses the ancient symbolism to speak to a known present that is explored in its various nuances, and so on. So, this is the guidebook. So, there will be a paragraph, three paragraphs in a page, and the artwork, full color pictures. For the minor arcana, we have small pictures. They're still in color, full color, a little less when it comes to write up, and then a few spreads in the back and information about the authors. Giulia Manzi is a philosophical consultant and author of educational essays, biographer, and books for children, and Sarah Rotlick is an Italian illustrator, an urban witch. She gives a voice to her magic through drawing, blending cultures, styles, and techniques. Really nice, really nice. Okay, so this is the deck, and it's pretty chunky. Put it back in order after using it for a little bit. It comes on that sturdy and very glossy cardstock. If you have the Zodiac Tarot from the same publisher, it comes in the same kind of box and it's printed in the same on the same cardstock. Okay, if somebody's still watching, oh, thank you so much, Riley, for saying that I love your voice and video. Thank you. I really do appreciate having you here on this live stream, and thank you for letting me know that you can actually see and hear my voice and see the images. I hope that the images are clearly. Thank you so much. So this is the deck, pretty chunky. Um, I can safely say that this is a RWS kind of deck when it comes to structure. We have the same amount of cards. We have a division in minor arcana and major arcana. The name of each of the archetype is the same. The creators didn't change anything, didn't change the name of the suits, didn't change the name of the core cards. So when it comes to that, somebody who is used to the RWS system can travel through can journey through this deck with a good sense of knowledge of what they're looking at. When it comes to some of the images, some of the artwork, I have to say that the creators actually made some took some poetical licenses and made some bold choices when it comes to symbolism. They changed things a little bit, but I have to say, when I was doing readings with this deck, I think I kind of tried to free my mind from the conventions and the structure and the frame and the mind frame of an RWS. And I actually tuned in with the images and what the images were transmitting and conveying. So you will see what I'm talking about. So we have the Fool here. This um, little witch here is carrying a couple of bags that are helping her, staying, walking on this tightrope and keeping the balance. So there's much more than just the idea of stepping into the unknown, taking that leap of faith, recklessly moving forward that we normally get from the artwork of a fool, because there's the idea of balance here. There's more, although it's still very reckless in this action, there's more mindfulness in what this person is doing because she knows that she needs to balance herself with these two weights. Then we have the magician that was mentioned in the guidebook. So we have a very busy student. It looks like it's this which is handling so many things at the same time. So for me, the idea of multitasking is really what the first thing that comes through when I look at this card. We have the High Priestess, and this is a very interesting representation of the High Priestess. We do have the traditional pillars with the B and the J, the darkness and the light. We have the book, but we have a nurse here instead of a traditional high priestess. Very interesting, but you see some little details like this crescent moon, the two pillars, like the two boards here with the B and the J. Um, she doesn't have a veil behind her or a veil on her face, but it's pretty much it's a high priestess. Wisdom, knowledge, these are the things that come through for me in this image. And then we have this interesting, adorable, I have to say, Empress card. Look like this witch has won the first prize for the biggest pumpkin. And these two are looking at her with a little bit of envy in their face, in their faces. This is what I was mentioning before. I was saying before about the how the emotions come through very easily through the facial expressions um, that the illustrator was able to create here in the artwork of this deck. So if this one doesn't talk about speak of abundance, I don't know what does. But it's very interesting how these two witches next to her are showing a little bit of probably envy in their faces, or at least this is what I perceived when I saw the artwork. Now we have the emperor, and how cute is this? With the, you know, if you have cats, you probably are familiar with the sticky roll to get rid of the cat's hair on your clothes, especially when they're dark. So it's a very interesting way to portray the emperor. We have the Hierophant, very different. Oh, my cat is behind the door complaining. You will probably hear her. Very interesting Hierophant card. Then we have the Lovers, the Chariot. This Chariot has a lot of Six of Wands vibe for me because it looks like there's a crowd that is cheering. So the Chariot card represents ambition and willpower and success and moving forward. This card speaks of success mainly. It looks like there's a big celebration here. Then we have the Strength card, overcoming illness, trying to heal. We have this fairy creature here, feeding her a spoon of medicine. The Hermit. I suppose she's traveling by herself, all alone in her car. She put the map away, and she probably is following the stars. She's letting the stars guiding her. The Wheel of Fortune. This is very different as well. The idea of movement. This could have been a Chariot card. I actually see this more as a Chariot card than a Wheel of Fortune. Justice. Very interesting. So we have the scales here. Absolute lack of balance, I have to say, because the scales are all over the place. Then we have the Hangman. Death. And I would like to read from the guidebook for this card because, I mean, I can tell that this person is not feeling well. And there is magic happening, signified here by these fairy creatures glowing all around them. Let's take a look at the guidebook for the Death card. Oh, and I opened exactly at the Death card, my goodness. The 13th arcana announces fate, periods that end, radical changes, exceptional rediscoveries, and loss. And just like all drastic changes, death can scare you, but that fear may hide a positive development. It is a card of physical or spiritual transition, a messenger of radical character changes, a transformation underway, ready to develop. Ignoring this arcana's warning could lead to the stagnation of a situation, suffering, wallowing in apathy, and a feeling of enough is enough. People link to the death card and their magic toward frightening change. So, people link to the death card aim their magic toward frightening change. They grab hold of it and never look back at the past, rather projecting themselves and their new identity toward a bright future. It does not matter how wonderful it was, the past must be left behind. Simply face up to reality and abandon all obsolete burdens. There's no space for them anymore. So this is how pretty much the write up on the guidebook will look like for all the cards. We don't have the usual traditional keywords or key phrases and a meaning for the reverse and a meaning for the upright position. There is um, just one message that is pretty deep, I have to say. So it will be up to you if you want to use this deck with reversals shuffled in it or not. I say start using this deck, keeping all the cards in the upright, and if they just pop out of the deck in the reverse, just read them in as if they came out in the upright. The Let's say the order of the cards in a spread, especially if you use spreads where each position has a specific function in the reading, that's all you need to use. Like if there's a challenge card or an obstacle position in a spread, then you will read the card as if it came out in reverse. But I would, although the backs are perfectly reversible, if that is a concern for you, I would, especially if you're new to reading, I would read these cards always as if they came out in the upright. And then as you develop your intuition skills, you will, even when the cards come all out in the upright position, you will be able to tell if they carry a shadow meaning, a challenging meaning or not. Temperance. So beautiful. I mean, I find this artwork so charming, so lovely. The devil. That's an interesting representation. For me, this is a temptation. The tower. I love this card. See, there's a little hand here. Somebody's trying to pull one of these cookies. I suppose these are cookies with frosting out. It's like a game of Jenga. And then destruction and collapse will happen. Well, she's pushing her luck, I have to say. The star. There's illness and solitude here, but there's also hope and prayers and healing. It's an hospital bed. The moon. So for this card, the main meaning that I see is about feminine energy, motherhood, the three generation um, maiden, mother, and crone. So powerful Cancer energy in this card, feminine energy. The sun. I'm not sure what's going on here. It looks like it's a bionic leg for this kid on a broom rather than a horse. But we have the sunflowers. Really cute. And then the judgment. You have this idea of facing the crowd. I don't know if you can see clearly. There's a crowd here. It looks like this is a rock star or something. Somebody who's about to go on the scene, on the stage and perform. So it's the reckoning moment. Now you will know. And beautiful world card. A well-deserved, energy restoring, reinvigorating bath. And we are into the Minor Arcana here. We have the Ace of Swords. And for those of us who at some point went from long hair to very short hair, you know how important and difficult sometimes that it and loaded with meaning that decision is. So she's cutting her hair. Two of Swords. Indecision. Stagnancy. So everyday life scenes, like this person is in a bus or the subway. Three of Swords, broken glasses. These banners here, even within the same suit, come in different colors. So we have the yellow, we have the aqua color, we have the pink. This is the Four Swords, rest and relaxation, rejuvenation, leaving all problems behind, taking a break. Five of Swords. This is a completely different Five of Swords, not what we are used to when it comes to um, symbolism. It's not the traditional RWS image of somebody walking away from a lost cause, from a lost battle. Very interesting. Let's see how the guidebook reads for this card. The Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is the arcana of definitive defeat. Those linked to it have lost everything power, energy, work. They may be faced with a period of continuing failures from which it is difficult to recover and which could become a vicious circle. The magic, like the mind and strength, is blocked and knotted up in itself, looking for a way out that does not exist. Surrender is sometimes the best way to go. Okay. So it's about surrender, recognizing defeat, understanding that just it's not the right time, the circumstances are not working in your favor, and there's nothing that you can do. Beautiful Six of Swords. You know, what sometimes hit me about the Six of Swords is that traditionally we have a mother hugging her child, and then there is the ferryman behind them, leading the boat to the other side of the river. And I love to see these two characters hugging each other here, helping each other, sustaining each other to get through some hard times. Seven of Swords, really different here with the voodoo doll. Interesting, really interesting. The Eight of Swords. This is a card that I had to look at in different directions to understand exactly what is going on. So this poor person, this poor witch is in fetal position. She's afraid to look. She really is. There's chaos around her. But she doesn't believe in her ability to change her reality, unfortunately. She's a prisoner of her own beliefs, of her own negative beliefs. Then we have the Nine of Swords with the Ouija board and all those fingers pointing at her. Well, that's all the fruit of her imagination. These are nightmares and films that she's projecting in her mind. Then we have the Ten of Swords. This is really, really heartbreaking with these shattered mirrors. Now that's in my culture, this is 7 years of misfortune following you when you break a mirror. So the body positions, the facial expression, everything in this deck is very, very expressive. For some of the cards, really, a young reader, young in the sense of new to the tarot reading, might need some help. Might need to use the guidebook as a crutch for the beginning. Page of Swords. Interesting. Look at this hand on. I don't know if you can see it on her shoulder. Knight of Swords. This is more typical, more traditional. Well, the page was completely different from what I'm used to. The Queen of Swords. The King of Swords. And this is very interesting because we have somebody with physical mutilation here, um, physical challenges. So this is somebody who has been through a lot. We have the Ace of Pentacles. I love to see kids and the aces, and I think it's not the only ace that portrays a child, because child is the epitome of a new beginning, of a new opportunity. Kids are actually our chance to rebuild the future. I love this card. I love all cards that represent motherhood. Two of Pentacles, and this is very interesting because we have dice, this idea of luck, of gambling. The Three of Pentacles, more traditional. See the reference to the traditional artwork in the RWS, with this architectural feature here. I don't know if you can see it. My light is going away. Let's keep moving on. The Four of Pentacles. He broke the piggy bank, and there are actually only 4 coins in there. The Five of Pentacles. Yeah, kind of loss and grief. The Seven, more traditional. The Eight of Pentacles, working hard, experimenting, repeating the same experiment over and over again until you achieve the results you were hoping for. Actually, no, sorry, this is the Six of Pentacles. I mixed the cards a little bit, but it would have made sense. From the traditional RWS, we have, oops, what's going on? Focus, okay. The scales. So this is the Eight of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles. I'm not sure exactly what's happening here. It looks like they're putting money together. They're putting their resources together. Let's see what the guidebook says for the 10 of Pentacles. Here too we have an image that is completely different from the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. The Ten of Pentacles is a celebratory card where the community is driven to collective wealth and enrichment. Through cooperation, the united congregation has obtained prosperous, gratifying results. Support is reciprocal, the resources are abundant, and the bounty is shared. The harmonious magic of a group becomes the rock upon which to build your own family and finances. So it's putting resources together, as I said. It looks like they're putting money together to do something. The Page of Pentacles, the student card. Love this cat. This is the student card for me, learning something new, acquiring new skills, self-development. The Knight of Pentacles in the back of a train. It looks like a train car. The Queen of Pentacles. Look at her enjoying life, kicking up her heels, enjoying her drink, enjoying the good things in life. And the King of Pentacles that comes through as a teacher. And for me, this one right away looked more like a Hierophant card. Higher learning, teaching, more than the typical the typical King of Pentacles. Then we have the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Filling up a cup of coffee for somebody. The Two of Cups. Pretty traditional. The Three of Cups. Like a Christmas themed card. Getting together. The Four of Cups. That's interesting too. Very different. The Five of Cups, regret, loss. The Six of Cups, nostalgia for a childhood that is gone. The Seven of Cups, evaluating your options. The Eight of Cups, leaving, departing, leaving something behind that doesn't serve your purpose anymore. The Nine of Cups, the Ten of Cups, which reminds me a lot of a Three of Cups. And then we have the Page, a really cute card. The Knight of Cups, and then we have the Queen and the King. And if you put the two cards together, they're actually part of the same image. The creators did this only for these two court cards, maybe because of the emotional ties between the two. So pretty, how beautiful. Like this image, very heartwarming. So the entire deck is really heartwarming. There's the Ace of Wands, again a child. Love to see a child used as the first card in each of the suits. Potential, that's the idea of potential. Two of Wands, Three of Wands. It's hard to say if this person just moved in and has to unpack those boxes, or if they just packed everything up and they're ready to leave, to move. Four of Wands, very romantic. The Five of Wands, interesting how they're not competing yet. So there's no chaotic energy going on in this card like we normally see in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. There's a lot of discipline here, though. It's more like about a competition and being prepared for that competition, like the two fencing individuals here represent. The Six of Wands. This is definitely different. Not exactly what we expect in the Six of Wands. As I said before, the Chariot card looked like a lot like a Six of Wands card. The Seven of Wands, protecting two little kittens. The Eight of Wands, very typical. The Nine of Wands, the Ten of Wands. I don't get the idea of being burdened or burned out in this image. There's instead a very positive connotation with all those sunflowers. And then we have the Page. The Knight, very fiery, literally. I'm losing all the natural light. We're finishing just in the nick of time. The Queen of Wands, beautiful. The feline companion. And the King of Wands. Okay, so this was the deck. I really love the artwork. And for me, it's a little easier probably to deal with symbolism and images and artwork that differ somewhat from the traditional deck, because I've been reading with all kinds of decks for decades now. For a new reader, less seasoned, less practice, maybe might be a little bit of a challenge, especially in the beginning, but the guidebook is written really well. And maybe just a thought, you can actually use this deck as an oracle deck as well, in the sense that you can actually use your intuition a lot and look at the images and help you um, conveying messages through the images and the artwork rather than the traditional meaning of each of the cards. There's a lot that you can do with this deck actually, because the artwork, as I said before, um, might be very relatable for a lot of people, especially younger generations. And it looks beautiful on the reading table. It really does. Let's pull three cards out. We have the King of Wands. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Very powerful energy, very productive, very active, very abundant and prosperous. And the Emperor. Wow, what a trio. What a trio here we have. The way I'm reading these three cards, this little spread here, if I had to do a reading, it feels like there's a lot of energy and desire to do, to create, to explore. Look, like he's like traveling. He has his little bundle here, his knapsack. This is a traveler, somebody who is exploring bravely, courageously, new territories. I think that the emperor has that function of giving structure these two energies, because on one hand we have um, the desire to do, to create, to explore. On the other hand, we have that desire to kick up your heels, to enjoy life, to relax. These two energies are quite in contrast with each other. And I feel like the emperor is that person or that energy that will create more of a balance and a structure between these two. Really nice. We have a Ten of Swords, a Page of Pentacles, and a Two of Pentacles. The message that I'm getting right away, it's when you believe that everything is over, that's when you have to rely on your ability to learn something new, start something new, and also be brave enough to gamble sometimes on your future, to take your chances. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Pentacles. All right, for those of you who were kind enough to stay with me throughout this walkthrough and review of the deck, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for putting a like. Thank you for leaving a comment. So let me know if you happen to watch this video later on. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about it? How do you like it? It's the Find Your Magic Tarot by Julia Manzi and Sarah Rotlick, published by US Games. Thank you so much, US Games, again for the review copy. It was really um, interesting to work with this deck and get to know these two beautiful, wonderfully talented creators. Thank you so much for being with me. Until I see you next time, many blessings. All right, let's see how to close this video. That's going to be the challenge.